Good evening out there. Good evening. How you guys doing? It's Mike Melton back again with In the Spotlight Podcast, episode 20. And tonight we got a very, very, very special guest. Mercer County legend, all-time leading scorer at McCorston. Before it was TCA. Like everybody to welcome a good friend of mine, Mark Bass. Mark, thanks for coming on tonight, brother.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Appreciate it. Hopefully I can give you a good show, man. The other 19 before me, man. Woo, hitting it out the park there, Mike. Hitting it out the park, man.
Yeah, I know. We had some good dudes. It was just I just tried to interview a lot of people that I just was interested in their stories. You know what I mean? A lot of people, Chris Rivers, Dino's, you know what I mean? Different guys that had impact in this game. Brian Coleman had Munch on here. You know what I mean? Different dudes that came through the ringer with me growing up and just remembering in those days, man. And that's why I wanted to bring you up, bro. You was always a couple years older than me, but I still saw how you was moving and was inspired by a lot of the stuff you was doing, man. Especially once your playing career was over and you went into coaching. I just thought that was so dope that I actually knew a Division I assistant coach. Like, that was so dope to me to say that I could be able to say that. And then when I was working for Metro Hoops, I call you up, and there's one thing that you did for me that helped me out, and I won't forget that. I remember when I called you, and I was sitting with what's the name that I wanted to know how to do the college reports, because I saw all of those dudes sitting there doing their college reports, and I ain't never know what it looked like. I thought that joint was super hard, and I called you and I said, "Yo, bro, I need one of them reports they be sending y'all, this and this, blah, 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 of how to break down the players, how it actually look." And you sent me that joint, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is how it breaks it down. I was sitting with Norm. Rest in peace, Norm, one of the coolest dudes that ever was around, bro.
Yes,
Good dude, man. Good dude, man. So, you know what I mean? So that's enough about me and you, how you inspired me and this and that. So let's start over, man. Talk about how was it growing up in Trenton, man, early on with basketball and just with life in general, bro?
Well, I grew up in West Trenton.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was fun, man. It's different from today. Me and my crew, Eric Evans, Arnold Settles, Reggie Coleman. If I forget a couple of names, we just went out and played basketball. Not just basketball. We'll play football. We play baseball. We play different sports.
Yeah, indeed.
So it was great, man. It was great. And we didn't have a lot of camps that these kids go to now and play Park. Calhoun Park, West End, you name it. We just try to go and get a game. And I think that helped us, not just in basketball, but in life. Just dealing with different people, different backgrounds, how to relate, how to be out there on your own when you're 13, 14 years old. And it made you not grow up fast, but made you grow up. And it helped us. It helped me today at 51. Just learning, and I can pass it down to my two boys on how to navigate through this world we live in.
When did you know that you might have something special with this hoops thing? Like something different.
I guess when I got to high school.
I guess. All right, so let's talk about. We're gonna get to high school. Let's talk about. I don't know, because I was looking up some of your stuff. You was doing some damage in CYO for Sacred Heart, man. Take me back to those days.
But back in those days, it was rough, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, take me to those days.
I tell you, going against Cathedral, OLDS, Incarnation, like, it was battles, man. It was battle. Wow. Just like, I know we probably get into it later on in high school, never getting over that hump, beating St. Anthony's. I never got over the hump beating Our Lady Divine Shepherd. It was always, you know what? It comes down to that little Final Four. You either going to play Cathedral or you going to play Our Lady Divine Shepherd. That's who you going to play.
That's dope, man. See, I never got a chance to experience the Catholic League thing because, of course, I went to public school and I got it bad when I got into middle school, junior 5. They took away middle school sports. Yeah. Then when I got the freshman year, they took away freshman sports. So I had it bad, but I used to go up there. We used to go up there to really try to talk to the Catholic school girls, but we got the chance to experience your atmosphere.
Right.
At the CYO, it was crazy, man. So get back into like some of the battles y'all had, man.
Oh man, we used to have great battles, man. I tell you, like you look forward to going and playing against and then as an 8th grader, that's when St. James came. Kenny McBride,
yeah,
Angel,
yeah.
So that when you're looking at that group and they already over 6'2", 6'3", like no, they can't be 8th graders. now we recruiting at the 8th grade back then.
That's in the 80s
but those are fond memories and good memories that have, and to look back, you know what, Mike, playing against those type of teams prepared you for high school.
Indeed.
It prepared you for high school, man. And you got a chance to play with some of them guys in high school. So yeah, it was battles, man. And the good thing about it, though, our coach, Mr. Hall,
I remember. That's my guy, bro.
Yeah. We just didn't play in the area. We would go to New Brunswick and play tournaments. So we got that life outside of Trenton by traveling and playing basketball there.
Yeah, I saw that you took home a couple MVP trophies. You know what I'm saying, down there at, in the CYO for Sacred Heart. Then it came time to make that decision to go to McCorston. Was that a foregone conclusion from the beginning, or did you go through a recruiting process or anything like that?
No, I'll be honest with you, Mike. They didn't even recruit me, Mike. They looked at Costado, Steve Stefano, Al Mastrangeli, Chris Rowe. Those are the coaches. They were recruiting Terrence Riley, because Terrence Riley.
Yeah.
So they ain't really talk to me like that. I was small. So when I got there, I must have really impressed them because I didn't play freshman basketball. I played JV and split time varsity as a freshman.
I heard that. One of my boys told me that today. I talked to Outstanding. He told me that today. He said, Mike, he was on he played as a freshman, and that was rare back then.
Yes.
Yeah, he told me that. When I talked to him today, I told him I was bringing you on tonight. That was one of the first things that came out of his mouth. He said, bro, I was a senior. He got there. That was rare. People wasn't doing that back then.
No, not at all. So I don't know what I did to stand out to make that happen, but it happened. And you got a chance to learn with the Cornell Nelsons of the world, Gus Styles, Torrance Hill. You see those guys, then you see them play against Trent High, the rivalry, against Chuck McKay, who was leading the county in scoring. Like, so you're like, you know what? You gotta bring it. Kelly Williams at Ewing. So that made you grow up fast too. Because down the pike is only gonna get better.
Now, you being from West Trenton and this going on, nobody from Trenton High even it wasn't no thoughts of that. Nobody tried to contact you. Nobody never said nothing to you. Like, you got some talent, you think about coming here. How was it back then when it came to that type of thing? That wasn't even a thought?
That wasn't even a thought. No, I never had no one from Trenton High or any of the coaches from Trenton High come, you should come to Trenton High. Nothing.
So now you at McCorston, you get there, and how long did it take you to get comfortable on the court? And what was Costado coaching style like? Like, take us to that when you first get to see him and get into the groove.
I guess it was open gym, but once you on the court, you just comfortable. You just comfortable because you know what? You're comfortable because you know some of those guys, and you know what? You still got to go out there and prove yourself. So it's like, all right, let's see if you're good enough. And so now you just go out there and you play. I might have at what back then 5'6", 5'7", might have dunked. You never know. That might have took it over the top for him. And it was like it just got better, man. It just got better. And Costello's coaching style, he stayed on you, but he let you go.
I could tell. I used to like watching y'all play. Like it was. I like watching y'all play.
No, he didn't hold us back.
Yeah.
His thing was you got to guard. We pressed, which was right up our wheelhouse. You know, we wasn't a half court team. We ran half court sets, but when you can get out and run, it makes everybody look good. Now, you know, especially when you got a 6'4" point guard and you got a 6'8" forward. Oh man, you look forward to running.
I love that. I love that. So now you played a little your freshman year, but then your sophomore year rolls around, and then things start to really take off for y'all. What was y'all season goals from the outset of your sophomore year?
I think you know, winning the CVC, going to the states, winning the states. But you know that's when going into my sophomore year, that's when Corey White came.
Yeah. So he transferred from somewhere else?
He transferred from Soulberry to McCorston. Well, now you added Corey, Blitz, Dave, and I'm still trying to figure out. So I was still figuring that things out. So you still had the upper class, so it wasn't pressure on me. Kane played a lot, Blitz played a lot, Stan Lewis played a lot, Corey. So shoot, I fit right in. Like, so if Corey got double team or Blitz got double team, they kicked it out. I was there to make the shot, or Brian getting in the lane, find me. So there was no pressure. You know, and I think that helped me.
What was some of the big games that y'all had, if you could remember, that sophomore year during the regular season?
I think that sophomore year, I'm pretty sure when we went up to, was it either North Jersey or New York? That's when we played. That's when it was a tournament. St. Anthony's, Tallentine, Christ the King, and us. That's when Derek Phelps, Brian Reese.
I remember that. Audrey, I remember that. Wasn't that like the Metro Classic or something
Metro
like that?
Classic. Yep.
I remember that. That's when I first saw Adrian Autry and Brian Reese and Phelps that went to North Carolina.
Yep. And Khalid Reese that went to Arizona.
Yep. Y'all. I remember y'all was getting busy. Yep. I remember that. I remember that.
That was like, yo, that's when you know what, Mike. Oh, we got a chance. You playing against, because you got them 4 McDonald All-American. Then you had Bobby Hurley, Terry DeHere, Jerry Walker. It was like, yo, for them to ask us to come play in that event, the program must have did something right. Must have did something right.
So now y'all gear up for the playoffs. Like you just said, y'all feel y'all got a shot. Take me to, like, did y'all, you know how they say you coached for years, did you feel that y'all peak yet? Did y'all peak in the playoffs? Did y'all peak before the playoffs? Where do you feel y'all peaked at during that year?
I think we peaked going into like our first round. Well, you get a bye after that. Like, I think we started rolling after that. And we just kept rolling, because that year, that's the same year when we won the state title and we went to the tournament champions. We played Lance Miller.
Y'all Bridgewater Remington. Y'all ran to Bridgewater Remington. I was that game.
But prior to that game, Mike, we were the underdogs. Because they thought that, they got these Miller kids. And Murdoch was Murdoch on that team? But was he gone then? I think Murdoch was gone, but it was the Miller, and we just steamrolled them, like steamrolled them. In the rack, it was like, yo. Then we always run into that buzzsaw up in North Jersey.
Now let's talk about it. Now, but this first year, bro, I ain't even mad at y'all. They was crazy stacked. So, like, I just want to know the mindset going into that game. Did y'all feel like y'all had a shot, or was y'all really kind of waiting for them to punch y'all in the mouth to see how hard they hit? Like, what was the mindset going into it?
Well, the mindset was like, you know what, we can compete.
Mm-hmm.
We're not afraid, because Mike, we punched them in the mouth in the first half. I remember hitting a half court shot going into halftime of that game. And like we were feeling good. We was feeling good because I was Terry was guarding me there, and I had a good first half. You know, they went in the locker room. I guess, you know, Bob said, you know, Bobby, you guard Bass, and everything started turning. They turned the heat up. They turned the heat up on us. But it was like we know we belong. We just couldn't finish.
Now, when it was over, did y'all feel like, because that this was the inaugural Tournament of Champions?
Yes.
How was that first feeling of losing that game? Do you feel like you still good because you won a state title, or do you feel like this season was a failure?
No, Phil, you know, because that was the first state title we won in a couple years. So it felt good to win a state title, but we felt that we left something out there.
Okay.
We felt that we left something out there. Then I think that following summer, we started going to Elizabeth to play summer league, I believe.
So y'all went up there to get that North Jersey feel.
Yes.
So it's a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a different atmosphere.
And I think Castaldo, by doing that, was preparing us for, you know what, because he knew we can get back there.
All right. So then the next year rolls around, and y'all get some more people coming in, and then y'all got this squad buzzing. What was the expectations that next season?
That we can
junior year.
That we can win it. That we can win another state championship. Because now you lose Stan Lewis, you lose Corey White, but now you add Tom Caldwell. So now you got two. Tom 6'10", Blitz 6'8", 6'9". So now
I remember when he came over.
Yeah. So now you really big. So then you added a freshman, Cameron Taylor. So, you know, you still, so we still was out reloading. You know, like I said, back then they still recruiting. They recruited Corey to go there. Now recruited Tom to come back. So now you just reloaded. Now you know what, we can win another state championship. But
then y'all go through, y'all run through Seton Hall Prep for back-to-back titles. Take me to that feeling, bro, when y'all actually did it back-to-back.
It was a relief. Like, you know what? Because you're nervous going into the game because you're like, all right, we won one. We know what it takes, but can we do it? Can we actually do it? And, you know, and once we got out there, we started playing, and we know we got it now. Now the mindset turns, you know what are we going to do in the Tournament of Champions now?
Before we get there, how was that feeling when you knew it was over?
It was great, man. It was great. It was great, man. It was, you know, everybody jumping up and down, hugging each other. You know, it's a great feeling. Because now you go up, Mike, and I tell all my kids and my players now, you're a champion for life.
Now y'all get in the Tournament of Champions quarterfinals. Y'all smack up Hillside. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, and this the funny part, right? So when I first get to King, once I transfer to St. Peter's, I go to King. One of my first girlfriends I had in college, she asked me, she was like, did we play some team from down there? Because she went to Hillside. Okay. We played them in the Tournament of Champions, and they were slam dunking on us and this and this. I was laughing and stuff. You know what I mean?
Because
now
you know, well, think about it. You know, Central Jersey, they don't get all the love.
Not at all.
You don't get all the love. So back then, you playing on North Jersey teams and you smacked them like you smacked them. Mm-hmm. Now you starting to get their respect.
Indeed.
Get their respect. Now they know who you are 30 and 40 years later.
Indeed. So then y'all get to the rematch. Now, bro, I gave you the last year because they was crazy stacked. Like that was like what? Not that many teams wasn't beating them. They could have beat a couple of low-level college teams or whatever.
Yes.
But bro, that next year, y'all jumped on them heavies, bro.
Jumped on heavy, yeah. Well, you know, but they had Danny, Roderick Rhodes, my man Wardell. So but do you know what the difference from that Bobby and Terry year to Danny Hurley and Roderick? Those the two different. That team, they were gritty. They were gritty, and they were literally punching in the mouth. They were a tough Jersey City team, and I think once they hit us in the mouth, we couldn't overcome that.
Damn. So once y'all had the lead on them, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna ask you this: do you think? Because I seen this when I seen people play against him before, especially when I was with Metro Hoops. Do you think it got to the point where y'all coach might have respected him too much? Because I seen people that I thought like they respected him too much to really want to be him. It was just like,
but also too. If I remember correctly, he also got on the referees too.
Oh yeah, he good at that. Yeah, he good at that. Yeah,
and that was, and he know how to get with the referees, and the referees are turning. You don't like always blame.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And he gonna go all the way. And he gonna go all the way on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they get scared.
Indeed.
They get scared. So it was twofold. You don't like the blaming on the ref, but it was twofold. Now you go against Bob Hurley and you go against the ref.
And where was this game at? Where was this TOC game at?
At Rutgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it was bittersweet because we should have won. But you know, you go back and say we won a state championship, but we should have at least been playing in the finals. Because I think that's the year they beat Elizabeth in the final.
Elizabeth won that year.
They won that year.
Yeah, Luther Wright won that year.
Yes.
Elizabeth was serious. That was Luther Wright last year. Luther Wright won that year. So Elizabeth was serious, man. So you go home from that. I know that ride had to be different from the year before home.
Yes. Yeah, because that ride home was like, you know what, we let that one go.
Yeah.
We let that one go, and you feel bad for, you know, Cave, Eric Evans, Adrian Ellison, Blitz, Tom. That was it. That was their final go. That was their final go round, man. You feel bad for them. And it was a tough break for us, man. But now you just, you know, you wish them well. Now you gotta, hopefully we come back and reload my senior year and see if we could do it again. And we was on the doorstep my senior year.
Yeah.
Then we ran.
And I heard this story. I'm trying to figure out if this real. Now, I heard y'all get up against City Hall Prep.
Well, before you say that, remember this we would have beat Seton Hall Prep.
Okay.
But prior to that, Malcolm Huckabee, who was our starting point guard at the time, sprained his ankle.
That's what I was about to get to. Because
and he did not play. So it forced Reggie Coleman to play the point.
Yeah, and I heard Brevin Knight was a savage.
Yeah. And to this day, nobody can tell me anything differently. If we had Malcolm,
y'all would have won 3 in a row.
We'd have won 3 straight.
Wow.
We'd have won 3 straight.
Wow. Mac was nasty. I remember Mac was
Yep.
Mac was nasty. He was nasty. Because I I heard about that because one of my friends, my boy I had on last night, he was talking about how Ira Bowman and them beat y'all.
Yeah.
Because Ira Bowman's his boy from his projects in North.
Mm-hmm.
And he called him May May. And he always talk about how May May and them beat McCorston, this and this, blah, blah, blah. And I always told him, like, man, I think they was missing a player or something. He'd be like, I ain't trying to hear all of that.
I'm telling you, man. I don't care what nobody. You can never tell me anything different. We had Malcolm Huckabee. Because Reg had to do a lot. Reg was our Swift Army knife. He had to do a lot. He had to, he had to bring the ball up. He had to guard. He had to rebound. He did a lot, and that was just too much on him. Too much on him.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about the encounter. I heard the stories behind it and stuff. They said it was hard to get the Rock up the court. They said but Brevin Knight defense was impeccable, man.
It was. It got him to the lead.
Yeah. It got him there. And the smart thing I always say he did. Then we're gonna move on. He was smart enough to go to the Pac.
To Stanford. You get a
Stanford. It was smart enough because if he would have went to the Big East, he would have looked like everybody else.
Yes.
He went out there and he was bullying them dudes.
Yep.
You hear what I'm saying? He was bullying them. You know what I mean? So now let's talk about this rivalry, man, because this was big. This was big, especially when I was young and this and that. This was big. Let's talk about those games.
You lived to play that game, man.
Y'all against Trenton High. Let's talk about it.
That was it. I lost one game against them, and that was my freshman year at Trenton High. We lost. Was that?
Did y'all lose to Steve in them? What was that? Your sophomore year with Steve?
That was my sophomore year then. With Steve at the Alley. We lost. Then that following year we beat them. Then I think they had a winning streak my senior year, and we beat them at Trent High. And that was like, those are the days. That's what these kids today don't understand. Like these Mercer County kids today don't understand when that McCorston, Trenton High, or McCorston, Ewing. Those games were standing room only.
Now, I gotta ask you this question, like, because I always thought about this. UK Blitz, and Cameron, the other players that y'all had from Trenton, right? Y'all win back-to-back titles. They keep coming up short. Did y'all ever have any kind of survivor's remorse? Like, damn, what if we went there? Did y'all ever have that kind of conversation?
No.
Wow.
No. We rooted for them. You will always like to see another hometown team win a state championship. It was never any animosity between the players. Once we got, because once you finish the season, you're taking it to the park. So you're gonna play them again. So it was never no animosity. Like it was just animosity for that hour and a half we had to play them.
I always wondered if players that went other places had that kind of remorse. Like that, if I would have played for my city school, we probably would have won that state title or this or that. Another question.
Wait, before you move on though, think about their squads though. Steve Worthy, Derek Ashburn, Donnie Shelton. That's enough to win.
But if you add y'all backcourt,
it's not enough. It wouldn't be enough basketballs, Mike.
Man, no, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that, bro.
Mike. Wouldn't be enough basketballs.
So you don't think Cam could have ran the point for them?
Yeah, I think he could.
So you saying you wouldn't have had it? It wouldn't have been enough basketballs for you?
Probably not. Probably not.
At least you honest, bro. At least you honest. Now, my next question on this matter. You played, you coached at different levels. You didn't see a lot of basketball. Why haven't they won since 1961?
I just think it's sometimes just the luck of the draw, man. I just think it's the luck of the draw. Like what? Last year they had a real good shot and they lost to a team down South Jersey. I just think sometimes it's just the luck.
That's a lot of luck of the draw since 1961, bro.
And I think also didn't they lose one year against Elizabeth? But they had Elizabeth beat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
but like I say, sometimes the way the ball bounce.
See, my theory, and I really studied this for some reason, because I was looking at a lot of their players for over the years. Most of the skilled players that was really, really skilled went to the other schools. You get what I'm saying? Now, they had some skilled players, but majority of the players that really were fit for their position got handpicked. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Handpicked. So when I was looking at this, it was tough to be in an area where it was so many options. You got like 6 prep schools. Then you got McCorston. Then you got Notre Dame. And it's everybody just picking what they want. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel. But back then, Mike, we weren't picking. You either was going to McCorston or you was going to Trenton High. Or you going to find an address to get to Ewing.
What about like Hunt and all of them? They wasn't really in the mix in y'all era?
Well, they were. They were because Ron Payton went to Hunt.
But it wasn't as prevalent as later years.
Right. Like
Deion and Ray and them started going.
Right. When Deion Ray went, and because I want to say Gerald Posey and Noel Powell, did they start at Soulberry? And they came back. So but it wasn't prevalent like it is now. So it was like as Steve went to Hunt. Steve Worthy started at Hunt and came back. But they only went 1 year. Oh, the only 2 that lasted was Ray Glenn and Deion. They're the only one that stayed 4 years. Everybody else came back home.
Now, all right, we got through that. Now let's talk about you graduate from McCorston. Congrats to all-time leading scorer, county player of the year. Now it's time to make a college decision, but you end up at Maine Central Institute prep school. How did we get there?
Mike, I tell you, I was, and this is like I tell kids when I give out my story, and I'm talking to other teams, and I tell them, look, standardized testing wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing, Mike. And I took that SAT, man, that ACT so many damn times, Mike. I hated it. I just couldn't get over the hump. Now, I had the GPA. I just couldn't get the standardized test. So Costado came to my home, talked to my parents. These are the options. And we was like, all right, we're going to go to prep school. And went to MCI, went to Pittsfield, Maine.
Now, a kid from West Trenton. And then
Pittsfield,
you end up in Maine. Tell me about that, bro. It had to be some culture shock or something going on, bro.
Right, that's 8 hours up to Maine, 95. You get up there, ain't nothing but white folks. Only people that look like us was the guys playing basketball, or they were PG football players. And but I tell you, Mike, once my parents dropped me off, they talked to Coach Good, and they left. It was like, all right, it's only 2 things you can do, man. Play basketball and get the books. And once we got on the court, you talking about high-level basketball. I played with Johnny Rhodes, University of Maryland. He was the all-time steal leader.
I know who he was. He was nasty on Coach K.
ACC, yep.
He was nasty.
Had a kid, Edric Bohannon, who went to Tennessee. Reggie Townsend, who came to St. Joe's with me. Mario Mullins, who went to Old Dominion. A kid named Pax Whitehead, who went to Vanderbilt. Like, we were loaded, man. We were loaded. And it was just like, you just felt like, you know what, this could take your game to another level. Because every game you play against some high-level dudes.
Was that league up there as high level like they talk about it now? Is that considered part of that New England league?
Yes, that New England, yeah. Because, you had St. Thomas More, you had Hampton, you had Brewster, Bridgeton, Winchendon. So it was high level. High level. And we were undefeated. We played St. Thomas More. No, we played Winchendon for the championship. I got sick, and Johnny Rose got sick, and we lost the game. And we would have got sick. We were undefeated. We were in Sports Illustrated. That's how good that team were.
What part of your games do you think you improved on the most going there?
I just think my IQ, just playing with those type of dudes, your IQ just go up.
Now it's time for you to get recruited for college. Was St. Joe's in the mix when you was at McCorston, or did they jump on once you went here?
No, they were in the mix.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in the mix when I left McCorston to go to Maine. But the funny story, I learned this way down the line. Coach Good told me, well, once I committed to St. Joe's, how about this? St. Joe's didn't want me.
Why not?
Because they had got two other guys, J.J. Waters, Alex Compton. So it was 6 of us that go my freshman year.
So you had to bang out.
Right. So they called Coach, was like, yo, we don't think we can take him. Coach like, look, he was loyal to you. You tell me you can't be loyal to him. If you don't take him, you can never come back to MCI and recruit none of my players.
I love that.
So I got there. That. Mike balled out. The boy J.J. Waters left Christmas time. Christmas time, he left school. Christmas. He went home for break, never came back. Other boy, Alex Compton, transfer a year later. Started as a freshman. So I had a chip on my shoulder. I had a chip, not knowing that story. I just had a chip. I knew I had to prove myself. So that I had a chip.
I like the fact that your coach knew the leverage he had with his stock of players that he knew was going to come every year. And I try to explain to parents how important that is, not only in college recruiting, even with AAU teams. You go out there, I always tell players, don't get on no plane to go to college somewhere unless you know you way better than that kid that you going to take his spot. Because that coach don't really got to recruit from where you from like that.
Right.
He got to take care of the people where he at.
Yeah.
Now, if you dealing with somebody that got some leverage like your coach had, he told my man point blank, you're going to want to come up here again. You get what I'm saying? You're going to want to come up here again. So he got you there good, man. So now you get on campus, you bang out. Take me through some of your most memorable moments on Hawk Hill, man, playing at St. Joe's, bro.
Oh, man. It was just playing against my freshman year, we played at Temple, at McGonigal Hall. So mind you, they had Aaron McKee, Eddie Jones, Rick Brunson, Derek Petit. So I'm a freshman. Yo, I lit the zone up. Because they didn't know. They didn't know he was a freshman. Oh, man, John Chaney going crazy. And we had a shot to win that game. Like, it was like, yo, that was the highs. Going to the NIT final, playing in Madison Square Garden, that was great. I remember playing in tournament at the Meadowlands. It was us, Seton Hall, TCU. That's when Billy Tubbs was the coach at TCU. I hit a game winner shot against TCU. I played Seton Hall that year. So those, and then the The lowlights is when my man Rap Curry got hurt the year before I got there. He tore his ACL, and he was never the same. Bernard Jones, he's tore his ACL twice. So you think back and say, what could have been?
How was it playing inside Hawk Hill? It was small, but the atmosphere, it seemed like it was crazy. I went there a couple of times. It seemed like it's crazy in there.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, especially when you play, the Big Five games. Excuse me, Villanova, Temple. When you play the Big Five games, and it's packed, it's great. And I tell people, if you ever get a chance to go to the Palestra and watch a game from the Palestra, it's awesome. It's awesome time. Then going back, another high and a low at the same, going back and playing against Arizona, playing against Calabria, Arizona. But the downside of that is when Bernard Blunt dislocated his kneecap.
Y'all had a lot of injuries, huh?
A lot of injuries, man. A lot of injuries. So you're like, what could have been? Never made the NCAA tournament. What could have been as a player? Never made it. So
how was it playing for Phil those years, man?
Well, Phil was my coach my senior year.
So who was the coach?
Griffin? John Griffin was my coach for the first 3 years.
Okay.
So Phil was the assistant, but playing for him my senior year, it was good. He let us ball out.
Did you feel any kind of deflection not being able to actually go play in March Madness your career?
Yes. When you watch it, you just like, damn, I just wish I had one chance to play.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. But you graduate, one of the most prolific scorers in the school history. Then you get into the Hall of Fame, you know what I mean? There and stuff, man. What's the whole, if you could talk about playing college basketball in Philly is in a nutshell, what would you say, man?
I would say it's a great place to play basketball in. And I would only say we ain't talk about it, but like Sunny Hill back then, playing in those and just playing just regular pickup at McGonigal, going to different, and when the pros come back, you playing even at St. Joe's, playing. Pros come back and you see them pro workouts. With John Harnett used to run. Those were the battles. Gustine Lake. When John used to run those workouts, those were great runs. And I would tell any college or high school kid they can come back. I know Ellis does the workouts. They can link up with him because he run the same style of workouts that John do, and he's trying to bring that back. Those you should go to those workouts, man. You should go because you'll get better. You'll get better. Your summer will be fulfilled because you will get better.
Now, after you brought up playing at Sunny Hill, and during this time, and we had our own summer league that was popping, man. Take us to Cowboy Park, man. What was some of your best teams you played on, and some of your greatest memories, your rivalries? Give me some stuff from the park, man.
The best team I played on was Britt's Knicks.
I remember that squad. I remember that squad, yo.
That was the best team we played, and we won it that year. We won it. But it was like, yo, you playing against, Grand Express, Candlelight.
That's when Cave was on there, right?
Cave was on that team.
He was nasty that summer.
Yeah, Cave. Yeah, he was on a mission.
That summer right there, probably the best summer I saw him play.
He was on a mission, man. Those were you get excited.
I know, bro.
You get excited to go out there and play, man. I was
out there coming as a fan, man.
Yeah, people on the tracks.
Yeah.
You get excited. Those were like I always go back and say, these young kids don't understand. Those were great times. Go out there to see if you belong.
What was one of your best games you ever had out there?
I think that year that in the playoffs, in the playoffs, I got it going, and I guess it was like back then it was like best 2 out of 3 or something. Yeah, and I forget who we were playing, and that was like one of my best games I had out there since high school. Playing in the high school league out
I remember in the high school league, I was playing against you one time, and the ball was rolling down the court, and I was running behind you, and I really didn't know that you jumped like that. And the ball stopped, or it got deflected, or somehow like that, and you just picked that joint up straight, and then take no steps and nothing, just went straight up and dunked it. And you was like not that much taller than me, and I was like, this crazy. Yeah. Like, and you had your sleeves rolled up like this, yo. And I was like, yo, this dude is different. Then used to jump mad high, shooting threes. I was like, yo, this dude.
But how hot it was back then, man. It was hot in the high school game.
Yeah. What do you think happened to the league for it to go from that pinnacle to falling off the way it did so fast? Like, what happened? I got my thing that I saw, but then
you know what? I don't know, man, because it's like I came home one day and it was like no more park.
Yeah, it was like what I didn't like was when I think a lot of the competitive nature changed and dudes started teaming up, and then that's when it started to get weird. Like it went from like 8 good teams to 4 good teams. You get what I'm saying? It was like dudes ain't really want to compete like they used to want to compete. And then they just start saying, "Are we going to team up and do this team? We're going to team up and do that team and this and that and blah, blah, blah." And the competitive nature died out.
Yeah.
Then I started seeing dudes sitting out in certain games. They was doing labor. What's it called? Management back there.
Low management. Yeah, low management. but you got to think about it. I see Rock on here, but back then, like, you got excited when you seen Rock, Greg King, Jimmy Glover, and those guys come out there and play, and you can play against them.
Yeah,
you know they're much older, but they still can play. And you but see, like back then, you know, being small, I had to try to pick them jokers up full court because I know in the half court they ain't gonna do nothing but just back me down. So I gotta try to get them full guys full court and just see if I can tire them guys out.
So now college is over. We went through the park. Then you had a couple years overseas. How was that experience, man, when you was out there?
China was great, man. It was different. It was different.
The culture shock?
It was culture shock. But the basketball part, and I always tell this story. Like, I'm on a team, we get to halftime, you look over, I got one Chinese guy over there drinking a beer, another one over here smoking a cigarette. I was like, damn, where am I at? Like, you don't see that. It was just different. But they love their basketball, man. Smoking cigarettes in the arena. It's a fall in the arena because they smoking cigarettes. It's different.
I saw the love that they showed for Marbury when he went over there. It was definitely something different. And they love basketball. And once you retire from there, what made you want to get into coaching? Because then you went back to your alma mater up in Maine and jumped on as assistant coach. What made you want to get it back into coaching? To get into coaching.
I didn't really wasn't getting into coach. I had called coach just to see how he was doing, and we just had small talk. I told him, yeah, I'm getting ready, try to go back overseas. We talking. So boom, we hangs up. And he calls me back about 15, 20 minutes later. He's like, my wife was just telling me, why don't you come up here and coach? And I said, Coach, when you want me?
Wow.
I left that weekend, drove up there, was up there 2 years. And I tell you, man, the talent never dropped off. My first year, Yeah, my first year. Eric Barkley,
Ooh.
Kevin Braswell.
Mm.
We had DeMond Brown. No, DeMond was on the second team. Who else was on that team? And kid Aaron that went to Xavier. So that was my first team. The second team, we had DeMar Johnson, Karan Butler. So yeah,
On the same squad?
On the same squad.
That's crazy.
On the same squad. But
y'all
nobody knew
was like rock stars then.
Yeah, nobody knew Karan though.
Oh wow!
Because that's when Karan got. If you read his story, he got in trouble, went to jail.
Okay,
so they sent him to Maine.
Okay.
And that's when you talking about different?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Goodness, him and DJ. Oh,
but DJ was like a superstar then, right? That was yeah. So who was coming to the camp? I know y'all had everybody up there recruiting.
Oh, we had everybody, man. Patino, Calhoun, Huggins, you name it. They were rolling through there, man. They were rolling through.
So you up there 2 years, and then you pop back up at your other alma mater. You seem like a loyal type dude, bro. You gonna go back to where you got it from, bro.
I try to, man. I try to be loyal, but loyalty only goes so far, man.
What happened how did you end up at St. Joe's?
What happened there was Phil called the guy, Carlin Worley. He was getting ready to transition out. So he was looking for somebody to come in to replace Carlin. So we and that's how it came about. That's how it came about. And I went down there, and I guess you could say the rest was history. The next 20 years, I was at St. Joe's.
Well, we need to look at this a little bit. Take me through the life of a assistant coach. Like, what do you got to do? Like, I know they say you got to recruit, but we don't really know the day-to-day grind.
It's more than recruit, man. You got to do housing. You got to do academics. You might do study hall. At a place like at St. Joe's, you don't have what they have today, where like they got 7, 8 guys on staff. So you could be recruiting, you could be breaking down tape, but you also got your academic guys you got to worry about. You got to worry about they acted up in the dorm, residence life. You got to get meals ready, bus ready. That's when I first started. So we didn't have an operation guy. I was doing the operation plus, and when I first got on, my position, you couldn't go out and recruit. So that's when you and I hooked up, and I was getting all those reports. Reports, and they might highlight, and I might be, back then you were calling kids. You wasn't texting. You were calling coaches and players, trying to get them up for unofficial visits, that sort of thing.
Y'all was dealing with us a lot when y'all was coming for Idris.
Yes,
Man, you was talking a lot during that time, and you was talking to G all the time. You know what I mean? And he didn't know I knew you. He said, this guy Mark from Trenton. I said, that's my guy, man. Then I started calling you. We started talking about Idris and different players, and then I used to call you about certain dudes that I saw. Like that's when the relationship really took in. Now, you on the sidelines coaching and all this going on. What are the pressures of the certain kids that you recruit compared to what other assistant coaches recruit? Is it a certain pressure that the ones you recruit that they got to perform? Do that reflect on you if they don't perform at a certain level?
It does, because you always want your guy to do well.
Okay.
You always pull it for your guy, but your guy got to also perform too. On and off the court. You got to perform. So you in the gym working with them, or you in the office watching film with them. just
Mm-hmm.
trying to get him better, because
Mm-hmm.
because this your livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I tell kids, yo, my man, I got a family to feed, so this is my when I recruit you, this is my livelihood. I'm putting my eggs in your basket.
Mm-hmm.
So we in this thing together. First is to get you a degree, but
Mm-hmm.
also get you on the court and play and be successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's you got to be all in. You got to be all in.
I know this had to happen during those years. Give me that one player that you didn't recruit and you think you should have. You was like, damn, I should have went after him.
No, it's more the other way. It's more the ones you recruit and you be like, yo, and it turn out that this joker was just too good. Like I try to recruit Kyrie before he left. Remember, he was at before he went to St. Pat's. He
He
was
went to Montclair Kimberly.
Montclair Kimberly.
Mm-hmm.
So I had him and his dad in Phil office. Now this was before Kyrie was Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look down the lines, like, dog, man, this dude he was a game changer. He could have been a game changer here at St. Joe's. Chris Middleton, the same thing. Nobody knew Chris Middleton.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew. I went to see Chris down in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Phil was supposed to go see him. Something happened. That's when Scott Spinelli saw Chris play somewhere in Texas. He was at Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And they went and got Chris Middleton. Now look at him. So you look at the kids like he's not an NBA guy. He turned out to be that. So those are the ones you like. Wow.
Wow. It was a kid, and I don't know if you were still coaching. What year did you? What year was your last year there?
19.
Yeah, you was there then. I always thought, and some people from Philly might get mad or this or that, like, or you know what I mean. But it was just my opinion. I always thought y'all were the perfect spot for Quade Green. I always thought that if he would have went there, he had that Philly following.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that would have been the perfect spot, and he could have rose up, and he would have had a little movement in Philly at that time because he was popular already. You get what I'm saying? I thought that was the spot for him.
Yeah, but we never really recruited him like that though, because you know the ones that want to go to the high level. We never really tried because we just know, we don't want the kid to pull us along.
And then y'all could have been getting somebody else.
Right.
Now, my next thing was during those 20 years, was there any head coaching opportunities that you turned down, or it was different back then because you was black, or because of you know what I'm saying?
No, I would say I would just say it was no opportunity. So I did interview at St. Francis of PA. But it was really no opportunities because you got to think, Mike. You got to hit it when you hot. If you're not hot, you ain't getting to that. My guys say 12 inches over. So that when we made that run with the Elite Eight, that's when you gotta try to get out of there. Because you hot. Now everybody know who you are. You gotta try to hit it when you're hot.
How did you feel about you being a African American assistant and things was going on? How did you feel about the situation that you saw happen to Book and those other black assistant coaches, man?
I felt bad for them, man, because that's what First of all, they got set up, but it's what they wouldn't get money for themselves. They wasn't getting money for the kids. They was doing what we do in recruiting. They were recruiting the kid, but you got to go through people to get to the kid. And they were, to me, they were the scapegoat because
yeah.
you ain't gonna do nothing without the head coach not knowing.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not doing it without the head coach not knowing. He knows what's going on. And I'm glad Book got on his feet because I think he's coaching at a high school somewhere in the Midwest, started in the fall.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm trying to get him on, man. He said he wanted to come on, then I can't get him the commit to the day he wanted to come on, but you know how Book is, though. I gotta catch him at the right time.
Yeah, you know how he is. You know how he is.
So give me some of your highlights from the coaching sidelines at St. Joe's, man.
My best is when we went to the Elite Eight, man. That Elite Eight run was just so close, man. You're so close to get to the Final Four. You a loose ball away, and that was the kiss of death. Well, that was
who was the starters? Who was some of the top players on that team?
Shoot, Jameer Nelson, Delonte.
So you was coaching with them? Oh
yeah.
When y'all wasn't y'all number one in the country for
number one in the country, number one overall seed. Yeah.
How was it during that year? I know it was pandemonium around.
Oh man, it was crazy, man. We were getting police escorts. Yeah, we were getting police escorts. It was a good time on Hawk Hill back then.
How coachable he was. And y'all had Delonte. That backcourt was crazy. How coachable was both of them in practice?
Oh, they were very coachable, man. Because they wanted to get better. They wanted to get better. They pushed their teammates to get better. Tyrone Barley, Pat Carroll, Dwayne Jones, John Bryant, Chet Sagaitis.
The squad then.
It was, and when you look at that squad, it was no McDonald's All-American. They just balled in. They balled into what we were doing. And that's what made that team special. And I would say from that going forward, the two teams that won the Lansing tournament, with DeAndre, he was on one. Langston Galloway was on one. Those are constant professionals right there.
Did you guys ever have any discussions about? First of all, did y'all see any signs of that in Delonte when he was there? And do you guys have any discussions on when y'all see him now, talk about damn man, it's sad what he going through? How is that when it comes to him being a St. Joe's alum, man?
He's still embraced, he's still loved. But back then, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. You didn't, and I tell people that. People how was it? Well, if he did have the mental illness back then, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. And what you see today, he's loved. A couple guys still talk to him, or when they can catch up with him, talk to him and check up on him. But it's tough, man. It's tough. This mental illness is real.
Yeah, man. Man.
You see it. You gotta try to help that. Get person help.
Yeah, man. And it's a real serious battle, man. It's a real serious battle. So y'all had that run with Jameer and them, man, and y'all balling, getting it done. Take me to that moment when it was over, bro, and take me to that moment, brother.
I cried like a baby, boy. I cried because he's I ain't never going to get there. Never going to get there, man. I mean, I cried, man. I cried. It was just so close. Pat Carroll had a finger on that ball. If you going to the final, we were going to San Antonio that year. San Antonio. It was bad. It was crushing. That was a crushing defeat. You talk about played well because in the Sweet 16 we played Wake Forest with Chris Paul.
Woo!
Yeah, it was Jameer and Chris Paul going at it.
Mm.
Then it was
Mm.
the I will say John Lucas was
Mm.
on the Oklahoma State with Tony Allen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was man.
Did you know that those two guys were going to be successful? They were on the NBA level, Jameer and Delonte.
I
Like,
thought
did
they
you
would be
see it then?
I thought they would be successful, but I didn't think they gonna have the run that they had.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, shit, Jameer was an all-star.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to say Delonte went to a final. Jameer went to a final. I mean, when you say successful, I mean they held their own.
Mm.
They held their
Mm.
own.
Mm. That's dope to say that you had them on your list of players you coach, man. And let's talk about the day when Phil had the. Did you know when Phil knew, or he just came to you and said, "Yo, it's over. Like we got to go." Like,
No,
how did that happen? Like, how do the firings and all that stuff happen?
I was shit. I was laying in the bed. He called. This was late. I would say it was about 11 o'clock when he called and said that we fired. They let me go. It was like it was it was so surreal because he's been there all his life. Shit, I've been there all my life. You just never thought that would happen. And the year before, that's when Duff was leaving Temple. So you would think that St. Joe's would do the same thing with Phil. Okay, Phil, we're gonna let you ride this out one more year, and you can retire, or we're gonna part ways. But the way they did it was awful. Was awful.
Yeah, no taste with it.
Yes.
Yeah. I could see how that could make some guys feel like that y'all gave all those years to that place, and for them to happen like that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now that chapter is done, and now, did you want to get back into coaching? And if so, what you think were some of the obstacles where you really couldn't get that next job on the college level?
Well, it was like twofold. My kids were getting bigger, so I wanted to be, and they were starting to show some interest in basketball. So I wanted to be around with them, but I wanted to get back in coaching. But in this business, Mike, it's all about who you know. It's all about who you know, and the ones you think you know that can help you. They really don't try to help you. So
I love that honesty, brother.
It was. So I was in between a rock and a hard place.
What was that transition like? Because we always talk about the athlete, but we don't never really talk about the coach. When you had to make that transition back into being home all the time, back to being around the family all the time, and that realization when it came that I might not never be a college basketball coach again.
It was tough. You got to get used to it because in college you're on the road all the time. So now I'm waking up, taking the kids to school, picking them up from school, doing stuff around the house, trying to stay busy, trying not to get depressed. So it's tough. It's tough. So, but when you got a great family, people that support you, surround you, it works itself out. It works itself out, and then you move on. And
I remember when you was moving on because I was in the background working hard. I was trying to get you.
You were.
I was trying to get you the TCA hard.
You sure
was in the
was.
background like, yo. I had the relationship with Fouch, and Bill was talking, and I said, yo, this is what we got to do, bro. This is what we got to do. Then we finally got it, but you returned to TCA. But it wasn't easy, bro. You was hard, bro. I was meeting you in all types of places, talking to you. We was having these meetings, and you was telling me the training stuff you was having going on, and I listened to everything you said. But I always throw my picture there.
You right. You right, but I'll tell you though, man, it was fun, man. That first year with them kids, it brought the joy back. It brought the joy back of being around young kids, man. Being around young kids and being in the school with them every day, because they were characters, man. The boys, the girls, they were characters, man. I enjoyed
It
being
was like
around them.
the match made in heaven, and I wanted it for you, and I wanted it for them, and I saw, because I always saw the vision of where it's kind of in the perfect spot for you to build something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't really riff about who could get in and this and that, and everything was clicking, and then you there, and then your first year, y'all make it to the state finals.
Yes.
Come on, man. This like a storybook. You get what I'm saying? Now, did you know y'all could get to the state finals that first year?
No. I think we know. I think once we started looking at the brackets in the state,
Yeah.
And that's when we're like, oh, okay. Because me, I never saw the other teams, but you just know about the rep. You know about the reps of the teams, but you just don't know if they still good. But you just know that the school name got the rep. So, but once we start seeing the brackets, and okay, yeah, we could do this. We could do this.
Did you, when you got in there, did you see, like, did you jump right into the practices, and did you carry the college basketball coach mindset into it, or
Definitely.
you tried to dumb it down a little bit because they was in high school?
Definitely. Yeah. That's what. No. Because my thing with them was, I want to prepare you for college. So I want to treat you like you. That's why I tell the people at the school that I want to be in the school. Like, so,
I remember that.
Right. So why would I have a job that I'm going to go to practice and something happens and I'm not there? So by the time I get there, I don't know what happened. So my whole thing was to nip it in the bud when I first see it, and treat them like this is college. This is what happened in college. You get in trouble, your coach going to know before you walk out your classroom.
I like that mentality. And you had it rolling, and you get to the state finals, and you against Roselle Catholic, a high-powered squad. What was your game plan going into this?
The game plan was to try to make them bigs beat us. Because, Welcher, the other kid that went to Nebraska, who I liked, they were good. They were good. But I knew we were going to compete. One thing about the team, I knew we were going to compete. We weren't going to fold. I just didn't think we had enough size in the lane.
Yeah, I remember that squad.
Big.
Yeah.
But we made a run. We cut it to single digits. A couple of things when you look back, you probably would have did differently. But that's part of life. But it was a great experience, man. Really.
You win the county championship.
Yep.
Then you win the South Jersey joint. So you got 2 championships. Then you come up a little short. Was it? I know it was disappointing, but did it lighten the load that because it was only your first year?
Well, it lightened the load because to me, like, oh, you can do this.
Yeah.
First head coaching job. Oh, you belong.
That's what I said. That's why everything was lined up and this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, this rolling. Yeah. I got the dude that I want in here now. Now I'm on the phone with you. We trying to figure out how we gonna get more stuff done and this and blah, blah, blah. And then the next year rolls around and the rug gets pulled under. And I get this call and I'm like, what are you talking about? And Mark is out. They got rid of Mark. I said, how you can't get rid of him? Like, what are you talking about? Like, take us to that moment, bro. Like, how did this whole thing, like what happened, bro?
Well, You know what we dealing with. We dealing with some inner city kids. Some have it, some don't. And my whole thing was, I can't keep asking these parents for $50, $75, $100 to go to showcases or to put them in a fall league. So how do we compensate for doing that? So we not constantly, and they paying tuition to the school. So how do we compensate for them to help them out? So we came up with the idea of a car wash. So we did the car wash. So got the money. So I say to the people, I said, all right, if I give you this money, will we get the money back to help with this? Oh no, I can't. No, we can't promise you that. We can't do that. I said, well, I can't give it to you. Like I'm trying to help these kids. I'm trying to help the kids to get to college, to be seen by colleges. Isn't this what we're trying to do? Isn't this what we're trying to help them with? And it's not like I was stealing the money. I showed them receipts what I did with the money. This is what paid for this showcase. This is receipt that paid for this fall league. Here it is. And I just think, I don't want to dwell on it. I just think I was getting too big for the program. And they wanted to have control of it. That's fine. I wish everybody success. I wish them all success.
It was a sad moment, man. I was in shock for a while. I couldn't believe. I was like, this don't even make sense. Like it was tough, man. I didn't like what was going on. It was like, and I had a relationship with them. I still got a relationship with Donnie and them and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's my God. It was just weird. It was just weird, and I was mad because we had worked so hard to get this done, and it finally got done, and everything was thriving. You get what I'm saying? And then it's
the crazy thing about it, we would have probably been South Jersey champs again.
I know.
With the team coming back and with them young kids coming in.
I know.
We had
the whole thing, man. You had talked about different stuff on how to get bread and how to get more kids.
Yes.
And we had everything rolling. And then it's happened, man. But God knows best, man. Why everything happened. Maybe we don't even know yet. Why everything happened. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, in this portion of it, this is when we go to some of the different things that kind of like a hot seat, but I want to get your expertise because I had a lot of things that I wanted to have some questions about. Who was the best team, this and this, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to jump right in it from the rip. The 1990 team. Do you think this is the best high school team in Mercer County history?
Oh, man. I'm going to be biased and say yes. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, I put myself and Cave against anyone in Mercer County. And by the front court of Blitz, Tom, Adrian Ellison, I put my 5 against anybody. And honestly, saying that, I take that team on the road. I play a road game with that team.
What about the Trent Catholic team that won the TOC?
They were just too small.
Oh,
and I told them that back then. I told them that back then. I said, "Who gonna guard Blitz and Tom Caldwell? I don't even have to score in that game. Who's gonna just stop them on the block? And how you gonna score with Tom and Blitz back there and Cave Long? How you gonna score?
So you go on record. That's the best team, the best Mercer County team ever.
Yeah.
That's who I picked when I did my thing on Facebook a couple years ago. I thought y'all had the best team. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Who's the best player you ever coached?
Oh, I had to say
Any levels.
I had to say Jameer Nelson.
What about his game made him the best player you ever coached?
He was just, his mind was spectacular. He can just see the game. He wasn't fast. He built like a fullback, but he could get in there. He was just so crafty. And once he started knocking down shots, man, he was tough. He was player of the year for a reason.
Chester just had a different kind of toughness. I had a couple of players, I had Shep Gardner on. We was talking about Chester. Then I had Sheed from Chester. I just love the way they just love basketball, and they had that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they had. I think Trenton would have been like that if we didn't have all of those schools like I talked about earlier. You get what I'm saying? Like they was able to keep all of that right there. You get what I'm saying? Like Shep had to go all the way to Roman to go somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? Like so everything was right there. You get what I'm saying? So I always admired that about them. Next up. Best Mercer County backcourt of all time.
Oh man. Besides myself and Cave. Well, you got to go back to Trent High had some really good ones, man. They had some really, but mine, who I grew up and who I always loved was Gerald Posey, Noel Powell. And because I saw them at Sacred Heart. I always saw them. So that's me. Gerald Posey, Noel Powell.
Okay.
I can't get any. I'm telling you, man, that was you always wanted to pay to see them.
Okay. Always. Okay. Next up. Mercer County Mount Rushmore.
Your
4 players.
Greg Grant, Gerald Posey, TB, Terrence Bailey. Yeah. And Randy Corker.
I can't argue with that. Yeah. I can't argue with you said him, Gerald Posey. Okay. I can't argue with, and then you said TB, then you said what's the name? Okay. I like Steve too. I just liked his game.
Yeah.
I didn't see Gerald joint enough live to really have that to say that he could take his spots, but I think his game was different. He was one of them skilled ones that I felt they had.
He was a big point guard.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like I didn't I liked his game when it, you know what I mean? Certain players' games that I like. And so, but I can't argue about your joint right there. Okay. McCorston, TCA, all-time starting 5.
Well, Steve Brown. Steve Brown.
I don't even know who that is, but he must have been nice.
Steve was nice. Steve was back in the 80s. He went to Rutgers. Steve Brown, Gerald Posey, Corey White. I had to put Cave on that list. This is gonna be and Noel Powell.
So the new school don't get nothing. Malachi Miles, nothing.
but see that group. Only person. Malachi left and came back. Miles left and came. A lot of them guys, even the ones I picked, left. Maybe started somewhere and came back. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm going with. And I'm standing by it.
That's your crew, huh?
Yeah.
That's your
I'm
crew,
old school, man.
You old school? Oh man. All right. Now, We out of that. Let's talk about what you're doing now, bro. We Are One, Soulberry. How did you get into both of those positions, man?
Well, We Are One started, Ron Martin, Terrell Myers. Terrell Myers and I played together at St. Joe's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he called and asked me, yo, won't you come and join us? I
Mm-hmm.
said, thought about it. I said, yeah, you're right. I think it's time get back, just to see what it's like. And to be honest with you, I love it, man. I love it. High level basketball. It's great to be around those kids that got a chance to go play in the Big East, Big 12. That's high level basketball, and it's great. The Soulberry thing came about. I was just trying to just stay involved, man. Stay involved.
So, are you assistant?
Assistant. Yeah.
Okay. Now with the We Are One thing, how do you handle? See, when I first broke in with Metro Hoops and stuff like that, and with the AU thing, the top two, maybe the third player might got some perks. Maybe the third. How do you handle when it's the 6-player parents who feel like they should get this and get that? Or do y'all even deal with that at We Are One?
Well,
the entitlement thing is crazy right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think the good thing that Ron and Terrell does, especially Terrell, we 10 strong. We ain't going past that 10. So now everybody's going to get a chance. Okay. So now when you get your chance, you got to perform.
But do they be having demands like, we need flights, we need this, we need that? You get what I'm saying? Like, how much?
No. We'll have that issue.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, we'll have that. But I would like to get back in college again.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to get back.
Okay. Do you think you will be able to handle the NIL and all of that stuff that's in the mix now?
I would say NIL, and I got like when I talk to these guys now, and I say to them, and they say to me, some of the guys they recruit now, Mike, they say, look, I know you're only gonna be here for a year, but give me a good year. And that's tough, man. That's the one thing about it's tough. Like you ain't getting a kid after if you keep a kid 2 years, you doing something, especially at that low to mid. That low to mid, because you ain't gonna have no money. That NIL ain't gonna be that. So if you're gonna tell that kid to ball out, and you gotta bring somebody in, all right, man, help me win a championship, and you can keep it moving.
Wow,
that's the only thing that I don't, I can't wrap my head around, but it's tough, man. It's different. It's different.
Yeah, because it's hard to really build a program and really get to know the kids and really help them develop into something else that off the court. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Mike is also starting in high school too. How many kids stay 4 years in high school?
Yeah, you're right.
And how many kids stay 4 years on an AAU team?
You're right. And I got to take some ownership in this too, because I'm always talking about being accountable for the role you played. You know what I'm saying? Giving a lot of kids that spotlight in middle school and this and that. It made it harder for high school coaches, because now when you're in 8th grade and you got this name, you get to high school, you figure that you're supposed to go straight to varsity, and I better play.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And I better play. So I got to take some accountability for the role I played in this too. I'm not just throwing it out there, blaming it on parents and kids and stuff like that. Like I played a role in the situation too. You get what I'm saying?
Because how many kids might now want to wait their turn?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody ain't waiting their turn. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's 9,000 teams.
Yep. And that's why
like the situation, I could go start my own team. But what you got to understand is that life is not like that. Exactly. So eventually the rubber gonna hit the road and you ain't gonna know how to fight. And then when you get punched in the face, like you never know where life might take you.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't gonna know how to deal with no adversity, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that we lost the whole premise of teaching life lessons through basketball.
Yes.
Now it's about, I want to set up the easiest path for my son to get where he need to get. And I don't want him to deal with nothing. I don't want him to face nothing. I don't want him to deal with no adversities. And that's a false sense of security, because that's not what life is about.
You're right.
Now when he get in college and he faced that adversity, and now you saying my son is on the couch and he's dealing with depression and he's got mental illness and this and that, because you made this life seem like that it was this luxurious playground, and you was going to his every time he had a problem, you talking to the coach. You want to meet with the coach. You want to meet with the high school coach. You want to meet with the AAU coach. You want to smooth it over. And now that college coach ain't answering the phone.
Right. Yeah.
That college coach ain't answering the phone. You know what I mean? So in closing, bro, I always ask this question. I want to get your input. Give me a situation where you felt that God helped you get through it so you could become an inspiration for other people.
I think when I got fired.
Talk to me about it, bro.
When I got let go, and I sat back and you reflect on your time. Reflect on your time, and you talk to the Lord. Ask the Lord to guide you to where you want me to go. And I think He guided me to We Are One. He guided me to help mentor kids. Mentor kids and just try to guide them and instill the best path that they can make. It don't even have to be through sports, just through life.
You know why that's deep? Because I always tell people, like my clients at work and other people I talk to, the biggest test is, can you accept His will when His will don't match your will? You get what I'm saying? So you might have wanted to be this tycoon on Wall Street. You know what I mean? But He wants you to be a custodian at this high school because there's some kids at this high school that He wants you to bring His message to. So once you lose that job as that Wall Street tycoon and you end up at that high school as that custodian, are you going to be happy to do His work? Or are you going to walk around mad saying that you got cheated out of life? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's that test. And I see that you accepted where you at and you doing your thing with it. And He looking down at you and saying, good job, my faithful servant. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people can't handle that, bro. A lot of people
they can't. But you know, also it comes to, you know what? You continue to want to be better. You still want to be better. How do I continue to be better? Not just for myself, but for my family and other people. So you always you gotta humble yourself.
I try to do that every day, bro.
Gotta humble yourself.
Try to do that every day, bro, and try to live in the spirit by doing that, bro, every day, bro. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why I do this, and I also do the sober head one, because it keeps me balanced. I didn't want to just do basketball and then get sucked hearing all these stories and get sucked back all into that world. You get what I'm saying? I want to give y'all flowers, but now I also do the sober heads to always remind me, yo, remember what I got you from, and remember what you're supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? So I had other people ask me, why do you do two? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's why I do both like that, because I gotta keep that the keep me humble, because I can start doing this stuff and get sucked back into that and start, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm cool. I love doing this, but I gotta do that, man. So, bro, hey,
this is great. I really appreciate you having me
always,
on.
bro. And I can't wait to get these clips and put these clips up. I'm gonna send you the whole joint tonight.
Okay.
The YouTube version, and then I have the clips. Like I got a joint that do the clips for me. It's gonna be done in about 45 minutes. And then I have all them joints that I could just keep. I'm gonna flood you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be flooding them too. Shep Gardner told me he had to stop accepting my collaborations because there was too many coming. He said, "Bro, I was looking at my Instagram. You had my whole Instagram flooded with your clips."
There you go. Whatever can help, man. I'll take it, man.
All right, brother, man. All right, brother, man.
You know, anything come up, Mike, I'm gonna let you know.
All right, good brother, man. Thanks for coming on, brother. God bless
appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, no doubt, man. That was my boy Mark, man. Yeah, Mass, I see you out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a joy, man. I had to get my brother on there, bro, man. And also see my boy Kev just checked in, man. What's up, Kev? Man, I missed you. I reached out to you, Kev. I need to talk to you, brother. For real, man. The having Mark on, man, and getting him a chance to tell his story and go down memory lane, man. It was joyful, man. Next week, we got some other people squared up. I'm trying to get over to Philly to interview somebody very impactful over there. I just reached out today. Hopefully we get that done. But thanks for coming on tonight. Stay tuned for more stuff from In the Spotlight podcast. Also coming up Tuesday, Tough Talk Tuesday. Ooh, we got a heater coming up on Tuesday, man. One of my brothers coming in and he got something to get off his chest. So stay tuned Tuesday. This is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.